welcome back to Poppin In with Alexa and Molly. I'm Alexa.
I'm Molly.
And today we have a special Diet Pop episode. We have two bombshells entering the villa. You may have recognized them from a previous episode, but we pulled them for a little chat. It's Lizz and Ty.
Yay!
Yay!
Hi guys!
Hello.
We are so excited to be talking Love Island.
Yes.
I thought we were here to discuss the Clips Tiny Desk concert. Is that not what we're here for?
Oh, we gotta pivot.
So, this is my first Love Island season, and I have to give you guys the credit for really getting me into it. It was you guys and my friend of the pod, Tanya, shout out, who were just like, really, like, you should watch Love Island. You should talk about it on the podcast. Love Island is where it's at. And I'll be honest, it was a tough pull for me.
Yeah.
I do not watch any reality television at all. So this was new. But I'm curious for you guys. I was thinking about it earlier. I was like, how did you guys get into Love Island?
The pandemic.
Okay.
So that would have been
Changes
season 2.
some things.
I've never watched season 1. Did you ever go back and watch it?
No.
Well,
So
Love Island USA.
Yeah, so this is Love Island USA.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, we were starved for content.
Right.
And Love Island, God bless them, they were real pioneers in the space. They said, we're gonna set up a quarantine on the rooftop of a hotel in Las Vegas, and we're gonna recreate a villa, and we're gonna have people spread out in different hotel rooms, and they will only get brought up like from their room to the villa when they're introduced, and they kept tight quarantine measures. They brought the food in through very strict quarantine measures to make sure that the season went off without a hitch. And in subsequent seasons, people have gotten sick. No one got sick on that season.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
just speaks to
second season or the
Yep,
first season?
season
Okay.
two.
Second season of Love Island USA. And it was, from the viewer point of view, it was like, we weren't doing anything. So it was a perfect time to introduce like a show that's on 6 days a week to your routine.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was the first time we watched it. And, the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, it really was the perfect antidote for like COVID era depression
Right.
of like there just being nothing to do, it feeling like the world is collapsing outside, and just for a brief 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Things felt normal for 2
it
hours.
was like a fun, hot summer
Yes.
in our minds.
Which I feel like is kind of similar to this summer where like, because, if you don't know what Love Island is, it's a bunch of hot people quarantined on an island. They don't have any like access to the outside world. They can only talk to each other. And I just remember like when things were happening, all the bad things that have been happening in the world the past 6 weeks, people were like, they just don't even know. Which honestly, I was like, that sounds kind of
it's
nice.
ideal.
Like, put me in the villa.
Yeah.
Epstein did what?
Yeah. God. So I am curious because this season has gotten a lot of hate, and this is my first season. What are your like overall takes?
So my take is that I actually don't think this season has been that bad in the grand scheme of like all Love Island USA seasons. Last season was exceptional, phenomenal. Everyone loved it. It was like, lightning in a bottle. And so, yeah, whatever came next was not going to live up to that.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, I feel like compare it to any other season besides last season, and it's about the same quality is my personal opinion.
Okay.
So I think this season was kind of a pivot point for the show in general. Like Liz said, last season was truly a cultural phenomenon in that the show spiked in viewership in a way that it had never done before. It was easily Peacock's go-to show for their entire platform. Mm-hmm. And it really, frankly, put the show on the map in the U.S. TV reality sphere. And so this season, there were way more eyes than ever on this cast. And I think with that came these lofty expectations that it was going to continue riding the success from last season. And, did it live up to last season? No. Was it messy? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And also, I think we saw the Islanders this year act in ways that they have not necessarily done in previous seasons. And I will expand on that later. But no, I don't think this season was a disaster. I think parts of it were disastrous, but that's what makes a good Love Island season is the mess. Like, there has to be an element of that. Otherwise, why are we watching?
Yeah.
Because I will say, so I feel like everyone in the world knows who Huda is at this point. And I will say I was not that interested in Love Island until Huda started being like how she is, right? Like the whole Huda Jeremiah thing. And I think like people get so like interesting about the drama where it's like they hate it but they love it.
Right.
And it's interesting because watching this season, so I mentioned I went back, I watched the first 2 episodes of the previous season. I was like, oh, I can see what the difference is because everyone immediately feels more comfortable with themselves for some reason, like, or with each other, whereas this season everything feels like a little bit more like stiff and like a little bit awkward. Mm-hmm. So I just think like, and again, I've only watched 2 episodes, but I was like, okay, I can see what people are saying. But overall, like, it's interesting to have a show 6 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of content to produce, to, like, keep interesting, to, like, and I think we mentioned this, and we were talking about this before, like, people have been comparing Love Island to, like, the Stanford prison experiment, because it's like, how are you making these things interesting, or people will judge them for being, like, so dramatic, but it's like, they don't have any books, they don't have any movies, their cell phones are all set to different times. I think one of you guys were saying that, and they, like, don't know what day of the week it is. Friend of the pod, yes. Yeah. Friend of the pod, Tanya, she was telling me, she was like, if they ask the producers what time it is, they tell them it's island time.
Okay, that's actually terrifying.
Right? It's
Yeah.
a little scary.
That, like, makes me feel claustrophobic.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's like, no wonder, like, this is the only thing they have to do is talk to each other. It's like how witch burnings happen, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we had nothing to
Yeah.
do, so let's make it interesting.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It'd be interesting. Like, I think about myself on the show. Not that Love Island is ever banging down my door. Also, I am in a relationship, but whatever. And I'm just like, if I were on that show, I would be the whole time. I'd just be like, I don't know. Let's fuck some shit up. I feel like I'm bored out of my mind. My ADD life couldn't handle it.
Yeah. And they're kind of sleep deprived too. Like they film until super late at night. They get probably like, what?
4 hours of sleep,
5,
probably. There's a hard wake up
yeah.
time in the morning where the blinds open up. There's the sun, and they're given their cue to start
the day.
the day.
And they're not supposed to nap during the day either.
Yeah.
Oh my
that's
god.
Literally prison.
And they
crazy.
are encouraged to be outside for a majority of the day. So like they have this big villa with all these inside spaces, but they're encouraged during the day to not use those. Like the new additions this year were like the speakeasy that had never existed previously. The speakeasy almost never got used during the daytime hours. I don't know if any of you clocked that, but like those inside rooms are meant to be for like nighttime drama.
Which is crazy because it's so hot in Fiji. Like, I've never related more to watching like Huda's sweat mustache for like the first 4 episodes, or like Paige DeSorbo.
Paige got it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I listened to Giggly Squad. She is also from Summer House, and she was like a special guest on an episode. And she's like in the middle of a challenge, she just kind of like disappears, and they're just like, Paige had to leave early, and she came on her podcast, and she was like, I was gonna pass out, and she was like, also I was wearing these metal tipped shoes that were frying my feet because she was like, I just got off a plane. And now I'm standing in Fiji heat in the middle of the sun with, like, metal on my feet.
For 8 to 10 hours, because that's how long one of those stupid challenges takes to film.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like,
Rolling.
I don't know.
It's wild to me that people want to do this.
So that's actually an interesting point that I've seen discussed more, because a lot of people have a lot of criticisms about like the casting for this season. And when I've seen people who like obviously aren't, you know, maybe necessarily working on the show or anything actively, but like people who are in the know about it are like, the casting pool is way more limited than y'all think. Like, you think that just anyone wants to go on this. No, like it has to be a very specific person that's signing up for this and that has like the availability and is going to put themselves through it.
It's kind of like Squid Game when you think about it, where it's like the desperate people.
Right. Actually, yes. It's also interesting to me because like they have to be hot, you know, obviously. They have to probably be a certain age range. They also have to be able to get off work for like 6 weeks. And go ahead, Ty.
No, finish your thought, but that pivot, that segues exactly back to what I was alluding to about a different breed of Islanders and the way they moved this season.
Yeah, because so I know like and spoiler, Amaya is one of the winners, and Nick, they are nurses. And I was just like, do you have 6 weeks of PTO? Did you have to quit your job? And also, if you come in as a bombshell, which is like they're like new to the villa, and then they could potentially get voted off or whatever. It's like, did you just have to take off that amount of weeks, like just in case you stay on the whole time? And then
are a lot of them influencers, or do a lot of them have like, you know, social media followings beforehand?
And that is where the season really switched things up because you had 2 Islanders come on the season from the jump before anyone knew who they were. With active accounts of like more than 600,000 followers. That was Huda and Ace. Ace had over 1 million when he started the show.
Which I know Huda's like fitness, but what does Ace do?
Ace does
TikTok dances.
TikTok dancing.
Okay, Short King. All right,
Yes.
there you go.
And you have a pool of Islanders who are either influencers or are aspiring influencers.
Yeah.
And that is purely stemming from this past season, because everyone who made it through that season went on to become successful influencers. They're now making absolute bank cleaning up on TikTok and Instagram because they were so universally beloved. Cordell famously got his face on a Cheez-Its box because he had a Cheez-It moment during season 6. Like,
That'd be me. I'd be Cheez-Its are like my biggest snack.
Yes.
so like
I'm just eating Cheez-Its the whole
Yeah.
time.
You're just like sitting there, you're just like, oh, what's going on over there? Like Huda's screaming.
With my
You're just
hot
like,
and spicy Cheez-Its.
so like, it's easy to see how, from an outside perspective, you watch this happen and it's just like, oh, there's no reason I can't get on here and replicate that success. All I have to do is survive and make it to the end. And I think from episode 1, you saw people on the show moving in ways that were disingenuous, and they were playing the game aspect of Love Island more so than treating it as like the dating show that it kind of is.
Yeah.
But there's also a cash prize at the end, but the cash prize is completely irrelevant at this point because the real money is in the influencer deals that these people stand to earn as long as they make it through to the end. And that's, I think, a big part of why this season ended being kind of reviled. Is that fair? Like,
I think that's actually part of like a larger sort of, because I watch a lot of reality. So kind of I'm like comparing it to other shows I watch, and there people, I think audiences in general, like I've seen this with Housewives in the last couple of years and various other like Bravo shows, like people are much quicker to be like, this person is toxic and shouldn't be allowed to be on TV than they were necessarily when in 2020 we started watching, Love Island. Like there was none of that conversation at the time. So I think that like a lot of the season, like the hate that it's gotten this season is because in general, the reality TV fan base is much more quick to be like, no, don't like them, get them off. Like, and they're making it too dark and unpleasant to watch or whatever.
Well, like I hate to take this into like the academic space, but like there is I know it doesn't make any sense, but like there is genuinely a very interesting phenomenon of like parasocial relationships that are happening specifically with Love Island as a show, where the viewers feel like they know or have a relationship with these Islanders because they consume so much of their lives. They are following them on social media platforms, and in a sense, they control their fate with the occasional voting that happens. And so you get this really strange relationship where the viewer almost feels like the people on the show owe them something, or that they are entitled to certain behavior. And when that behavior is not matched to a T, they become rabid in a mob mentality type of way that this show has not seen before this season, where the depths that people were willing to go to try to tear down some of these Islanders, like get them off of the show, was crazy. Yeah. And hand up, completely guilty with it. Week 3, I voted happily to recouple Jeremiah with Iris to get him away from the Haunted to watch the crash out, because it was going to be iconic. And it was iconic. I got what I wanted from it. Yeah. But like, that is the type of thing that was just like, as a group, everyone collectively decided, we hate this person and we want to see you suffer. And that's exactly what millions of us did. And we got exactly what we wanted. And did it feel kind of icky? A little bit. But also, it was entertaining as hell. And that's the weird dynamic with this show.
Is that specific to this season? I feel like that's the show that's the point of the show in general, right?
So in a sense, yes. This season was different in the sense that
well, for one, it's just gotten way bigger.
Yeah, right? you have more eyes on it. The people who are going on the show now are more chronically online, I would say, than in previous seasons. Right. So you have more of these opportunities for like a faux pas or a misstep publicly. And you have people who are now doing the investigative work of like doing the deep dives on their socials just to see like, oh, is this person like cancelable? And the answer is yes in a few cases, absolutely.
And we'll obviously get to that in a second, but I want to go back to what you were saying about the fact that because it's gotten so much bigger, it feels like people are not as genuine when they're on there anymore because they know what the show is at this point. So they're probably watching everything they say. And one thing I heard about this season was it was just like maybe more boring than past seasons. Like the characters weren't as interesting except for Huda.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, I wonder if that's just because people were afraid to be their genuine selves. Like they were just kind of watching everything that they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think that there was definitely more awareness of like curating a certain personality for the show, but I actually feel like just as often that ended up like they played it wrong and that made it entertaining in a different way. Like there were some people who you could tell were sort of self-producing, but miscalculating what the audience actually wanted to see.
Yeah, and it's
Jeremiah, I think, fell into that too. I'm still of the camp that he was never into Huda from the jump. I think he was there to play the game and just happened to pair up with the one Islander who was going to match his intensity early on with some rabid intensity of her own, and with the unique mix of being the first single mom on the show and having that thrown in his face when she revealed it to him, and him going through the process and like, well, shit, I can't dump her now. I'm gonna look like an asshole.
Like he said he was like, I always said like someone having a kid would be a deal breaker, but then for some reason it's not on Love Island, so it's just like, okay, well, because it would make you look really shitty.
Yeah.
But also the thing is, there are things about Huda. I want to get into the mamacita aspect, okay? Because she's, I guess, like you said, I didn't know she was the first mom, but that makes sense. But the way she like brings up her daughter sometimes was so confusing to me, where she was like, I don't want to date around because like I have a daughter. I don't want to bring like a bunch of people back. And I was like, you're on Love Island. You physically can't leave. Like she will not be knowing these people. I guarantee it. And then like the whole, they have a challenge where it's like the high school thing where they have the baby doll, and she kept getting mad at her partner.
She's like, I have an actual child.
Yes, she was like, she literally was like, I know how to take care of a child. She was like, you can't leave it like sitting up like that. It doesn't know how to sit. And I was like, it's a doll. It's plastic. It's like you're getting really. I knew they did this pillow fight thing where I was like, I know Huda is gonna pull some shit, and she immediately was like, you hurt my nose. And then she came back with this massive thing on her nose, and she was like, look at what you made me wear. I was like, from a pillow? I was like, in the way her like partner rolls his eyes, I was like, that would be me. I literally
insufferable.
Yes, and in like the last couple of episodes, she's like, he won't cuddle with her, and she's like, you better cuddle with me. I'm gonna count down from 3. Like she does these like mom things where I'm just like, I understand, but also like that is a strange way to like have that on Love Island. I don't know.
Molly, pause. I'm taking a photo of your facial expression because that is the face of someone who's trying to calculate what a Huda is and how they move, and I promise you it's more insane than your brain is managing to conjure up. You have to go back and watch this for yourself.
I was like, I don't even know, because I've seen like obviously the clips of her, and she does seem just insufferable. But I wouldn't say like it's like a mom thing. It's not like but it's a whole different thing. She just seems so like just that annoying personality.
Yes. I don't think it's a mom thing. I think it's just her being a mom and having that personality makes it interesting.
It's a mom thing to the degree that she thinks that being a mom confers an additional layer of like emotional maturity on her.
She's making it her
whereas she's actually one of the most emotionally immature people that was like on the show.
And not her and Jeremiah talking about themselves as they were the villa parents in week 2 before everything went down. Like it was scream at your TV infuriating. Like, what do you mean you're the villa parents? You two hate each other and you're both insane. What are you talking about?
No, it's giving when somebody's like, I'm the mom of the group, and it's like you're probably the one I trust the least to take care of me in a situation.
And the thing is, I feel like Huda was like obviously the most standout character besides probably like the person who won. And it's interesting because it's like, I want to hate her, but I don't.
Oh, no, I love Huda. So this is my take. I think that she, just, like, this season would have been a total snooze without her. And B, I think that, like, the degree to which she is unhinged is overstated. Like I said, as a frequent viewer, and Ty and I talked a little bit about this, of other reality TV, I'm like, Huda would be in the top 50% of most mentally well people if
Yeah.
she was on a Bravo show. Like, the standards are different, I feel like, and, you know, especially because she is very young. I'm just like
24.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, yeah. She's, you know, this isn't like I'm watching Real Housewives where these are women in their 50s, and I'm like,
Right.
well, you should probably know better. And so when I see like a 24-year-old who's acting insane, I'm just like,
She's
you
just
know,
being
24.
yeah.
And it is a little bit of a double standard too, because I do think that like I would have responded more negatively to it if a man in the villa was acting in some of the ways she was acting.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess ultimately I just like have to, that's a double standard I hold, and women can have a little crash out as a treat, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
I think
love
it would
that.
have been a snoozer. Not that I watch it, but it would have been a snoozer. Yeah, by the way, did we say off the top that
Oh, yeah.
I have not watched Love Island?
Yeah.
I'm purely here for the vibes.
Yeah.
But
Which are immaculate, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
we have literal
Welcome to my villa.
we have a what is it, like a disco ball, like
Yeah.
going.
The strobes
literally
are
strobe
going.
lights
Yeah.
in the living room.
If you turn up your volume really heavily, you can hear a very low thumping techno
Yeah.
music right underneath.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think she I think it would have probably been a snoozer without her. I think she's perfect for reality TV. That's just the
Yeah.
some people just are perfect for that, and I think she
Yeah.
like I would not be a good reality TV person. I'm
Yeah,
too, I'm
but I
too
feel
in
like you would.
control.
Your facial expressions would be really good for the producers.
I'd be-
like the
no, but-
editors would be like, and Molly's reaction.
You guys were talking about the pool, like you know that meme where it's like I feel like you're just here for the zip line. Like I'd be just here for the pool. Like I
Yeah.
would literally just be in the pool the whole time, and they'd be like, Molly, you have. They'd be like, Molly, you have to like do something.
Yeah.
We're like, I'm just in the pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly like pulls
Drinking.
off her like snorkel and like glass, and she's like, I am. Okay. So two things. One, as I said before, I've never watched like any really I have watched reality TV, but not that much. And I think about regularly. I was texting Lizz and Ty in our like Love Island group chat, and I was like, this Ariana person seems like she fucking hates all of these people. And I remember Liz replied, and she was like, this Ariana person, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't know. I know Scandival.
Shocking.
Just the name.
Shocking.
Oh, Ariana from
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
You didn't know Ariana.
No, and she like the first few episodes, like now, like once I saw her on like
was on
After
there?
Sun, she's like
She's
the
the
host.
host.
She's the host of the show.
Yes, which I didn't know Sarah Hyland also had been a host.
Oh, yes, I
Absolute
did know
disaster.
that. I did.
Disaster
I
of a
mean,
host.
Wait, why?
famously- Oh, she just was not very charismatic. She didn't do anything
Oh.
wrong or anything like Sarah Hyland. But
Yeah.
Ariana famously got this job because on the like breakup, you know, explosion
Scandal,
on
yeah.
you know Scandival for Vanderpump Rules, her boyfriend, like ex-boyfriend now, Tom Sandoval, was like, you're talking about how like he had to cheat basically because he was like so bored in the relationship, and he's like, I didn't want to just sit home and watch Love Island for hours with you. It's like you really manifested that for her, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, and she looks really hot. It's interesting. I
Oh
read
my
this thing
gosh.
about like her finding the outfits, and she's like, you think people are like dressing you, but like they're not really. Like you have like a say in it, and it's like you can't really wear anything designer or like things with like labels or anything because it's like not like being sponsored. And some of her outfits I was like, okay, some of them I was like,
There
interesting.
were hits and misses this season.
Yeah, yeah, and also she dyed her hair like so many times, and I was like, I don't think it's a wig because it looks very real, but I was just like, interesting. But I eventually grew on. She grew on me as a host once I realized that she didn't hate them all and like that she was very invested in this.
I feel like she always loves the girls. I just think she
Yeah.
hates the guys in general. Like,
Yeah.
that's been a consistent. I mean,
I
like,
could see
fair.
that. But okay, I want to talk about some of my favorite Huda moments. So obviously there's the whole mamacita. And the thing is, like their family came during like the last couple of episodes and they were explaining to the two people, they were like, yeah, it's a whole thing. And they were so casual about it. I would have been like, you need to understand every
Yeah.
brand on the face of the earth has made
Wendy's
this. Yes,
is,
has
like,
posted
doing-
it.
Wait, so what are their reactions when they learn that something they said is like viral? Like I feel like I'd be like, what?
I mean, Nick was like, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, which is it's so funny.
It was such a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
It was like such a weird dialogue.
It was a weird thing to say for both of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I texted you guys. I was like, why does she always say it like that? Wasn't she ever just be like, I have a daughter, I have a
Yeah.
child, but she always goes, I'm a mommy.
child?
Yeah, her sister.
She goes, she goes, I'm a mommy with that smile. It's like the
Yeah.
same smile and mouth like sound
Yeah.
Right.
as she says it every time, and it like cringes me out.
She she moved so weird with
Yeah.
with that whole keeping it a secret thing in the villa. That whole thing was just, it was uncomfortable. It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because she would like hint at it. She'd be like, I have something I have to tell you, but I'm not going to tell you yet.
And it's like, I have a 2-bedroom apartment for a reason, but I will disclose later.
And Jimmy was like, for what? You have like a roommate?
Yeah,
Kind of.
I'd be like, oh, like, are you in like a poly relationship?
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, her sister was one of the people who came on like when they had the family on, and she was telling them about the meme, and she was like, Huda, just say that you have a daughter.
Oh, she said that?
Yes.
Oh, wait, that's so funny.
It is. But I feel like like, again, if this were me and like I was visiting my sibling, I would be like, no, this was huge. And they were just like, yeah, it was really popular. And like, I'm curious, like, if they go back and watch the seasons when they like go, I would absolutely watch it.
Yeah.
But it's gotta be like, I'm excited to see like the finalists like leave the villa and like see what their thoughts are, because throughout like people are leaving the villa and you're kind of like hearing from them or whatever. I also love there was this TikTok where it was like, I didn't want to see any like Love Island spoilers, and then they saw like 3 of the people at the airport like leaving the villa. So I think like it's interesting. But I wanted to talk about Huda's my favorite moments. One is when she was doing like this like striptease thing, and she got a lot of flack for it from the guys, and she was like, would it have been different if I were ugly? Absolutely iconic.
Why would she say
and
that?
And her partner is just like, no. 2, I love that like they did this challenge. She was like, I'm surprised none of the boys pulled me to kiss them, and her partner was like, why are you surprised? And she was just like, I just thought they would. He was like, why? Obviously the mommy Montecito thing. And also the last episode, they go on this private date, and the person she's coupled with, Molly, by this point absolutely hates her. He likes he's not cuddling with her. He puts on like he runs when they're like, you're going on a date with Huda. He like runs around the villa and like is pretending so hard to be excited. They're on this date where they have to like walk through these stones that are in the water, and he's like 6'7", so he carries her over the stones at the beginning. During the date, they're like crying. They're deciding, as soon as they're deciding to break up, the singer comes out.
What?
Yes.
Waves at them.
Yes. Just like in the distance, like literally Huda's crying, and then she's just like, oh. And
I did see that.
Yeah, starts singing the worst rendition of Moon River you've ever heard. And then it just kind of like cuts, but then they decide that they're breaking up and they're going to leave. And she's like, are you really going to make me walk through the water? And the guy's like, well, I'm not going to carry you. And she's like, you can't carry me? And he's like, no. And she has to like, you watch her, she like chugs a thing of champagne and takes off her heels and has to like walk through the water. And the thing is, he kind of sucked for that. Yeah. Overall, I did not like him, but also that was the best thing I've ever seen, I think.
My favorite was her being like the whole like my dream date thing, because it's really funny because it's not like, because she was like, he knows that. It's like he didn't choose the date, right?
Yeah.
Like,
which also like they were like, oh, we just went and chilled on the beach.
Yeah,
like,
that's your dream date.
That's not that crazy. You're in Fiji.
That is 100% spoken like a mom who hasn't had a day off in 5 years.
Yeah.
I would like to sit in silence for just 1 hour, please.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you guys like what your favorite meme or like viral moment to come out of the season overall was, and like that's my favorite.
Yeah.
I love the like people putting in
People
like
putting,
what
yeah, my
from,
dream
like,
date. He
my
knows
dream
that.
date, yeah. What is you guys' favorite?
It hasn't had time to be a meme yet, but literally the entire sequence of Chris and Huda's last date for me was just... If we lived in a townhouse or an apartment still, I 100% would have had the cops called on me for the way I was howling at the TV during that entire sequence. It was reality TV perfection, and I will watch that back and remember that fondly for the rest of my days.
It was great. I really love the Mamacita thing. I'll be honest. I know it's like kind of overblown now, but I also love like Amaya being like, last time I checked, I had all 10 toes and I stood on them.
Yeah.
And she like lifts up her foot to the screen.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
Yeah, very Amaya.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You've seen a lot of the memes, I feel like.
I've only listed the 2, like the Mamacita thing and then the dream date. I can't think of any other ones. But.
I take this back. I laughed so hard, Ty, when you sent the picture. It was like of all the boys standing there, but it was Ace, and he was just like a tiny person. Like someone had like shrunk him, and he was standing there, and he was like so serious looking. It was the best thing I sent it to like 3 people.
The constant dunking on Ace for his
Yeah.
his height was very amusing. Like there's a screen cap of him and three other guys sitting on this like rounded lounge chair, and all three of them have their feet touching the floor, but his feet are like 4 inches away from touching the floor, but his arms are crossed. He's trying to look so serious. Like respect to all the short kings out there. But sometimes it's real funny to dunk on y'all.
And that's the thing about it is, like, I feel like, you know, being a short king is, like, either if you're a fan fave, you're going to get, like, that's going to be just another thing in your favor, and you're going to get, like, built up for it, or if you are generally disliked, like Ace was, people are going to dunk on it all the time.
Well, the producers also did him super dirty. One of the challenges that they did was they sent the guys away to play some 3-on-3 basketball, and the guy that Huda was coupled up with at the end is a literal professional basketball player in Europe.
6'7".
He's like 6'7", 6'8".
You could have lifted her up over the water?
Ace is...
Right.
She broke up with him. Of course not.
Oh, okay.
Ace is 5'6" on a good day.
He claims 5'10".
He claims 5'10".
What?
Absolutely.
Ain't no way.
No.
I'm 5'10". Ain't no way. And so they're playing basketball. And the producers made a point to show a clip of Ace trying to go up and dunk the ball, but not even like getting the rim and getting stuffed by the rim. It was so diabolical.
Yeah.
They
I
like
fucking loved it.
some of the shots they do, like, of the producers, where there was one, I think it was Iris, where she was kind of like looking around, like kind of like picked her nose a little bit and was like hoping that nobody saw in the background. There was one where it was like literally someone was just like picking their wedgie, but it's just like in the background of these things where I was just like, damn.
Yeah.
Well,
You are
there are no
being
cameramen.
filmed.
It's all
Really?
hidden cameras, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
like,
that.
they really lose awareness that they're being filmed
Yeah.
constantly.
Makes sense. What do you think that editing room is like? Like, are they just like coked
Chaos.
out like every night? Like, how do you
Yeah.
do that?
I
Pure
imagine it's
Fijian
like
cocaine.
Yes.
Like, that's crazy that they put it out that quickly every day.
I imagine, have you ever seen like when movies do like a newsroom in the 80s
Mm-hmm.
on like election
Yeah.
night? That's what I imagine.
That's
yeah.
Love Island, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like every election in the world is happening.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I can't imagine. But I think, like, how much do you think they get paid for that? Like, are they only working for like the 6 weeks, and then it's kind of like, well, I didn't sleep for 6 weeks, but now like I don't have to work for like 6 months.
Yeah, maybe. That's
don't
good.
know.
We need like
I bet they don't.
a
You're talking about the
secondary
editors?
series
Yeah.
of like what the life
Yeah,
of
the
the people
editor.
was like.
Yeah.
That's what Beyond the Villa should be. It should be
Yeah.
all the behind the scenes stuff. Like,
Yeah.
I need that documentary.
Yeah, well, people were upset about like the production value this season because I guess there are certain things where it's like the way they did some of the edits and like you can hear stuff in the background, like it wasn't as good as it usually is, which I never noticed because I'm like oblivious.
I never noticed
but I was just like, oh, that's interesting.
So that is a big part of the show's mystique and how they get it to have the impact that it does is through these what they call Franken edits, where they're splicing together audio and reactions from different points to
Right.
convey a different message. And it's really kind of wild the power that these producers hold in their hand because like depending on how much they decide to show you or what of you they decide to show is going to completely shape the narrative of how America views you.
Yeah.
Like, Iris and Pepe were finalists. We didn't see a damn thing about Iris and Pepe the second they coupled up. They were immediately overshadowed. That's why they finished in 4th in the voting.
Yeah.
Like, Huda probably, you know, we know she's a little unhinged, but like, she probably got a bad edit specifically from the producers. Like, they wield so much power over this thing.
Yeah.
We need the Big Brother cameras where it's like 24/7 live stream,
Right.
able to look into all parts of the villa at all times, so we, the viewers, can shape our own narrative.
I saw like a lot of speculation specifically with the when they were doing their like, you know, highs and lows at the last sort of group dinner.
Oh, yeah.
And like a lot of speculation that like Chris probably actually did say something about Huda and they just like totally left it out and like purposely left in him saying the 2 other things and then also being like, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know? And so it's like, yeah, that would really change like the tone of that if they just decided to totally cut him saying like, well, obviously being with Huda, but then also the basketball game and, you know, whatever else he said.
Yeah. It's interesting because at a point there was like almost like 20 people in the villa and I was kind of like forgetting like it's also I want to actually go back to kind of like the way that they build this narrative and like the toxic fans because I think that's been definitely like more prevalent this season from what I've heard. And they've been putting like these PSAs out each episode where they're like, Love Island, the key word is love. And I'm like, that's not going to do anything for anyone.
Yeah,
Whatever.
that's also not related to it. Like, it's not that kind of love. Like,
and it's interesting because people still choose to go on this show knowing kind of like what you're putting yourself out there in the world. But I think like people just don't know like fully, like they think they know, but they don't, you know? And it's just, I kind of am curious what you guys' take is on that, because they are like, people are building this narrative and then people are like getting death threats when they come out of the villa, or like, for example, there have been certain things where people were canceled, like Austin, everyone thought was like a MAGA supporter because they had found posts that he liked or whatever. But then there was a guy named TJ who got voted off on the same day, and they were like, yeah, get Trump and Vance out of here. And I was like, wait, is he a MAGA supporter? And I couldn't find anything that supported that notion other than people saying that he looked like J.D. Vance.
Which he did.
Yeah. So I'm like very confused by that.
I think that in general, the fan base, with good reason, is just kind of automatically a little suspect of like white men. Like, you're kind of already on, you're working against the tide if you're coming in as like a white man on this show, which is fine, you know. Give them one realm of life where it's a little harder.
It was interesting because I feel like you get the edits from the producers and then you get the edits from the fans that they're building themselves on the outside, and you don't know any of it. So like at one point during the show, they do this ranking where it's like America's ranking, like who do they think is the best boyfriend, and they like line them up, and that's like the first time that the Islanders find out a little bit about like what America thinks about them just based on this ranking. And so the girl who ends up winning, her name is Amaya, and she had a hard time. Like, she had been coupled up like 3 or 4 times. Like, people, like all the guys kept being like, she's too clingy, why are you calling me babe on like the second day or whatever. But everyone loved her. People were calling her the people's princess, Amaya Papaya, and she got ranked first in like a bunch of categories. And this is where like the scheming came in, because you could literally tell, like, there was this guy that she was coupled up with, Zach with a K. I fucking hate. Don't tell me that man is hot. No. Anyways, where he had been coupled up with her, and then he basically like said some shit to her that was honestly kind of fucked up to me. And then as soon as he saw that she was like first place, he started like being like, actually, I think maybe there's something like here, like whatever. And she was just like, I don't know. And it's just interesting to see, like, it feels like an inception of narratives, you know?
Zach. You know what I think some of that is like, well, I think people have this thing. If you're going to a reality show, you have to have a little bit of crazy. There's something about you that's like a little crazy. And you're like, you don't have a lot of self-awareness. And so I do think there's that thing of like you were saying, like what makes people go on knowing like what past seasons have been. And I think it's just because they think they're like, oh, people will like me. You know, like they think they've got it. And it's just... probably a lot of people don't like them. They probably have haters in real life too, because they're just like... I just think there's that level of self-awareness that these people probably don't have. In order to be on a reality show, you kind of have to have that. So they probably think like, oh, I'm going to win this. Yeah. Like, I've got this.
And it's interesting because we talked about this when Sierra got kicked off the villa. We talked about it on our episode. But I was like, you know, this Gen Z generation have been like born, like they came out of the womb and put an iPhone in their hands. Where I'm like, it's interesting to see as we progress, they get older, they start like, you know, doing more public facing things, like being not literal children or whatever, to see how like being so online your whole life affects you. And I think we're starting to see that a little bit with like this whole like Love Island experiment, not only with like Sierra, but with some of the other people and that sort of thing. But
yeah, for sure. Well, and I think it's important to remember that like the show has a dark history with this sort of thing. Like, obviously we're talking about Love Island USA, but like Love Island UK is the original Love Island, and that show has a history of multiple people who are associated with it like committing suicide. So that like it is a really intense thing to go through, and like, you know, you go into it knowing that it's going to be intense. You just probably can't fully anticipate what it's going to look like if you get that horrible edit that maybe wasn't deserved, or just, you know, people hate you for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's something that I think you can imagine, but unless you've actually done it, it's truly hard, I think, to even properly empathize with the people that you're watching, because you can't understand the complete and total isolation that these, you know, a lot of people are going to say like, oh, they're adults. they're young people. Like if you have a 2 in front of your age, like you're still young. You're still forming. Like your life is still. You've got so much to learn, and being so vulnerable and putting yourself out there where you're going to be dissected from your public facing persona to how you would behave in private, but with cameras all around you in this sleep deprived, very vulnerable arena. Like it is, it's crazy that honestly there's not more suicide ideation or like mental health crises that happen on the show. Especially Love Island USA, which compared to Love Island UK is more produced and honestly has like a slightly darker tone. Like going back and looking at like Love Island UK compared to Love Island USA, the vibes could not be any more different of the two shows. Like the USA one definitely feels like the USA version of the show. Like we took a thing and we Americanized it. Like we made it bigger, flashier, we put more cameras there. Like we did all the things that we're known to do. It's kind of crazy that we haven't had one of those sad instances yet on the show.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's to some degree. I mean, the very unfortunate incidences that happened with Love Island UK were early in that show's run, and I wonder if it's something of, you know, we are getting into the Gen Z contestants who are maybe just automatically at least more used to living their life online and in the public sphere than like the very early UK contestants would have been.
And I think after that happened on like the UK shows, I think they started taking more protocols. So like afterwards they have like more like mental health like professionals, or they kind of go into this like before they come out into the public, they kind of go into this area, especially like some of the ones who are on there for longer before they like see the public and that sort of thing.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of like a halfway house or something, like when you get out of prison. I didn't know that they did it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing, I guess.
I always think of the girl Vanna, Vanna, where she got a lot of hate online for her appearance, which some of it I think was definitely fillers. I think some of it she was like, this is just my face. Like, here's a picture of me as a kid, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying, yes. And she said, she was like, when I left the villa, I called my mom, and the first thing she said, she was like, don't check your phone yet. Like, you should wait until you are with us at home to check your phone. And I was just like, yeah, the way people were awful.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know, she just looks, that's how she looks.
Yeah.
She's hot enough to make it on Love Island, you know?
Yeah.
So I also, the thing is, how did you feel about the hotness of people this season? Because that was a whole, like, debacle apparently as well.
What, like they weren't hot enough or something?
I feel like the girls for the most part were hot, but the guys I was just kind of like, this is interesting.
The girls are always way hotter than the guys. I feel like that's been every single season I've ever watched of this show. I actually thought the guys were more hot than they had been in previous seasons. Also, it's like, it's a very specific type of hot. You know, like we're going for one body type with the guys, which is like, you know, muscly. Obviously, most of them have a lot of tattoos. Some tattoos are better than others.
That's one thing I heard about the season was like, it was like the ugliest tattoos.
They were wild tattoos.
Was really bad.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, I would say, you know, you look at the starting, you know, Islanders and like, of the guys, like, it was more hot guys than I remember any other season starting with, at least to begin with.
Yeah, of the OGs, I think only Austin was like the real dud for me of the guys.
He reminded me so much of Luke Wilson, like in the way he talked and the way he moved. It's Owen Wilson's brother from, if you've seen him like in, I want to say Legally Blonde, but he's been in a bunch of things. Yeah. But anyways, every time he talked, I was like, there he is, Luke Wilson on Love Island. Like, and I just... And also, like, Taylor, some people, until, like, the whole Landria thing happened, really liked Taylor. But I was like, I don't know. I was like, why is he doesn't even seem like something he would be interested in. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure who turned him on to that.
Yeah.
Or, like, where in his life, between, like, doing rodeos and on the farm, he got introduced to, like...
He also models.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. It's interesting also, Jeremiah, like when he did like the interview after he left the villa, he was like, I'd only watched a couple episodes and my sister had it on and then I decided to try out. Which I was like, that can't be true. Why would you do that? Like, why would you be like, yeah, I'm going to isolate myself for 6 weeks on this thing I know nothing about? That's insane.
Are any of you familiar with the idea of like a 360 peer evaluation? Do any of you know what that is?
No.
So this is a thing in like corporate culture where you get a group of your peers to basically literally form like a circle around you, and it's like a full assessment of like your performance, your strengths, your weaknesses, like your personality.
What?
Like it's this
corporate?
Where do they do this? It's this big thing that's supposed to be very illuminating, and it's for people in like high pressure jobs, high pressure positions to see if they can take it, basically, if they can make it. And I always think that to be on the show, you should have to go through one of those and be like, here is an honest, immediate set of feedback about you. Can you handle this feedback? How do you compartmentalize all of this? Like, are you good?
Yeah.
And if you survive it, then you can move forward. But if you can't handle that type of feedback, this is maybe not the environment for you, dog, because it's going to be that times 100 million.
Do they do psych evaluations before?
I
think probably to some degree.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
And I'm curious, like, with the casting, because, like, for example, so one of the women, Alandria, like, she kept just being like, I love country boys. My thing is I love a country boy. And then Taylor walks in a massive cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think no matter what his personality would have been, she would have been like, well, that's the man.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the man for me. And I was just like...
And I think they do a lot of that, like, kind of purposely trying to set up, like, we're gonna send so-and-so in for so-and-so, like, within, like, and I think that's, I've seen people speculate that's sort of where things maybe started to go off the rails with this season, was from literally day 2, Yulissa was supposed to be one of the OGs and got booted, and that threw off the balance of, like, how things were kind of supposed to play out.
Interesting. And it's also very clear, like, there's, like, so halfway through, like, the women leave the villa and they go to Casa Amor, and where there's like a whole set of new guys for the week or whatever, and they try to see, like, they test their connections
For the week / 3 days.
Yeah.
They really cut it down this year.
And also, normally it's the guys who go to Casa Amor. Typically the girls get to stay back.
Interesting. And it's interesting seeing that, because then, like, the guys have this whole set of girls, and they were basically just like, you know how, like, they've ever shown, like, a casting call where you walk in and it's like, oh, all these people look and act like me. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, these are kind of the same people, but just, like, a little bit different.
Right.
Like, we've all got the same types going on. Like, Elan and Nick.
Yeah.
Literally, when they were standing next to each other, I burst out laughing. I was like, this is the same person. It's crazy.
So talking about Casa, actually, so I have a question for Ty, as just the other person here who's seen multiple seasons of this. What is, like, your verdict on what they changed this year? Not even specific to Casa exclusively, but just any changes, like, change-ups they did to the format this year.
I heard they didn't do movie night, which was like a huge
controversial.
So I don't know what the producers' thought process was this season. I don't know if Yulissa leaving early really did mess up their planning or what, but, like, last season, season 6 of Love Island USA, the producers were batting 1,000 all season. They could not miss with building up the drama, the casting. Everything was chef's kiss perfect. This season, everything felt off, and it's like they kept trying to reinvent the show in new ways. That's like, you didn't have to do
there
it.
There were a lot of changes.
The formula was there. It worked. And, maybe this group of people couldn't stick to that formula successfully, but, like, coming off of last season, I don't know why you don't try to, like, run that back largely. Like, they used to do this challenge where they would get everyone together and they would read tweets about them, and they would have to guess, like, who the tweet is about. And that was always an opportunity for things to get incredibly messy. That was missing. Casa Amor used to be a longer stretch of time. It used to be like 6-7 days. This time it was like 2-3 days tops, and they brought him back, and even then they changed things up because they made you have to be coupled up in Casa or else risk getting dumped. They did a fake dumping in Casa.
No one's ever been dumped during Casa Week before.
Only to bring them back. Like, they didn't do the movie night like you guys had mentioned. Like, there were so many things that they just left out or changed, and it made Love Island not feel like Love Island. Like, even the heart rate challenge. That used to be they made a change there that completely changed the dynamic of the game. It used to be all the girls would sit in a row by the fire pit, and the guys would come out one by one, do their thing, like going down the row.
They basically like dance on them to try to get their like heart rate up, and whoever gets the heart rate up
Oh
the
my
most
God.
like wins.
Yeah. And so they would do that, and then like the guys would go up and like go on top of this balcony and would watch every other subsequent guy go. So there was that sort of like anxiousness built up, and then they would switch, and then the girls would go. This time they did it where the couples were dancing together on the other couples.
Yeah.
And it was these little changes like that. It's like, you don't have to do that. Like this formula worked, and I think that is part of what made this season so disliked from the longtime fans, that just like at parts of it didn't feel like the Love Island that we have grown kind of accustomed to, and it felt like some of the things they were doing just didn't really land, especially Casa.
Well, so I disagree
was an abomination.
Here. I think that actually if there's one change that was worth making, it was the change to have I didn't enjoy it as much as a viewer, the way they changed Casa, but I think that everyone knows that prior to this season, if you were like a Casa person, like that's going nowhere. Mm-hmm. All of the Casa people basically get like immediately dumped. They have no chance to actually like make an impression, because in 90% of the cases they don't get even reintegrated into the villa. And, you know, even the ones that do pretty much get immediately dumped after that. And I think that because they changed it so that everyone automatically came back and was sort of more like automatically part of a couple, that did allow the Casa people to have more of like a presence on the show, which was especially needed this year, because by that point everyone was already sick of the OGs.
So like my beef with this year's Casa was less them trying something with that format of like being coupled up. Like I thought that was interesting, like especially this season, it really needed it. I think my beef with Casa is more like they didn't give those couples enough time. Like the shortened duration of Casa, it didn't feel like Casa. It felt like a little side quest that you would do in a video game instead of something that could tangibly shake things up.
And like you have to remember that for the majority of the time that they were there, like they were all also already in an automatically kind of bummed out mood, because everyone just thought they sent Nick and Alandria home. So like the vibes were not there to really have like a fun, like making great memories, I feel like, with that.
And then I really did not like the fake out that they did with Nick
I
and Alandria.
like
if you're going to do this and commit to this, like just do the elimination and just let them be eliminated. Don't do this as a roundabout way to get Nick and Alandria as a thing, because that's the fan fiction that the fans have wanted this entire time.
And that made me so mad. I think I texted you guys about this. I was like, I don't know why people are so obsessed with Nick and Alandria getting together. I was like, I see it, like when everyone was like, we see it, and I'm like, see what?
Yeah.
See, there's nothing there. They kissed and then they were just like, like this feels like kissing my friend, you know?
Yeah.
America gaslighting them, their family, their friends gaslighting them. Let these people live. Like they're getting so psychologically fucked. Just like, I guess I'm attracted to you. Like, let's do this thing. And it's just not there, y'all.
I'm not kidding. I was laughing at their last date or whatever. They find these bottles in the sand, and it's like letters from America being like, this is how much we love you as a couple. And you can like see, like, they're trying to be like, oh, but you can also see that they're kind of like,
so weird.
yes, they like are a couple that was just like forced together, like multiple times.
The couple's so strong that they have to constantly be reaffirmed that no, this is really what we all want for you. We are looking out for you.
And so I'm curious, like, because a lot of people were upset about like the fan or like the Islanders doing a lot of their own voting and dumping.
That too. There was not nearly enough recouplings, and it was like till week 4 or 5 that the girls got a chance to actually control the recoupling. It was very guy recoupling centric this season, which was also really strange.
They did wait a really long time to let like the girls have the power, but I do also think this is something that's a little bit of the fans rewriting history. It has always been the case that like it's very common for them to do like America votes, but then out of the bottom 2 or 3 the Islanders decide, and a lot of people acted like that was something that was new or different this season, when it's always been like that. The Islanders have always had a lot of say over like who ultimately goes home.
I think
up until the finale, obviously.
I think where they got thrown is like previously when like America votes for like a bottom 3 essentially, and then the Islanders pick, they normally flip who's voting. So like the guys are eliminating the girls are eliminating the guys. This year it was more of like guys, you're eliminating guys, girls, you're eliminating girls. and that let the gameplay thing come into it because Ace hated Jeremiah, and so he immediately gunned for him like, Jeremiah, you're gone.
This actually reminds me of my conspiracy theory that I have now, which is that, I don't even know if it's a conspiracy theory, but I think that at the reunion they're going to show clips of the deliberation of that one vote that we didn't get to see any of the Islander deliberation from. I think that they probably, because it's a little unusual, we basically almost never see a vote where we don't see any of the deliberation, but this one they very conspicuously were like, just had them announce like the girls sent home Hannah and the guys sent home Jeremiah, and I think they were probably holding that back for movie night, which they ended up not having because it didn't really make sense to have by the time it got to the point in the season when it would have made sense to have it. And so I'm wondering if maybe we actually see some of that at the reunion to try to like stir up a little more of the feelings about it, because people had a lot of feelings, and like I see people on the podcast and stuff like that have come out of the villa still. That is one of the main topics that's being talked about, is why did the girls decide to send Hannah home? Why did the guys, like, how did they justify having sent Jeremiah home?
Right. And it's interesting because I think, like, back to what you were saying, how people seem to be just like playing to win, is it was like, you know, they were sending home people who were in like established couples.
Yes.
And like their reasoning
You're
didn't
either
make
too
sense.
established or not established
Yes.
enough.
It was so strange. I was just like, okay. And like the one you compare to like the Red Wedding where they sent like 5 people. I was just like, whoa, this is wild. I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, like I remember in previous seasons, you know, talking to my wife Jessica and being like, you know, because there's a cash prize at the end of this, I'm surprised that more people don't play this like the game show that it technically kind of is. And then we got that this season. I was like, oh, I miss when they weren't playing this like the game show that it is.
Which, to be fair, and this is gonna, like, the cash prize is only $100,000, which is a lot of money, but also, like you said, compared to like the brand deals and stuff that they'll get on the outside, and then they have to like basically split it between like the 2 people who win at the end. Like who's gonna be like, actually I'm gonna take it all for myself.
Grace
like,
100% would have taken it, and it would have been iconic.
Yeah, that's true. You would like walk out of the villa and just be shot. You know what I mean? Like, people would hate you.
Yeah.
So it's only $50,000. So it's like you're really playing it to become like a character. Like Huda's brand deals, when she gets like comes back to Earth or wherever she is, they're gonna be insane. It's crazy. I don't know. It's interesting, like, again, because this was my first season, so it was interesting seeing the dynamics. And like some episodes I was like, again, it took me a while to get invested. In some episodes I was into it, and some episodes I was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will. So you asked me before, will I be watching the next season? Yes, I think I will.
Yeah, we did it, Liz.
Hey, you know what? That's still better than the result we got on the American Horror Story
know.
episode. So
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Sorry about that. That was rough. I'm sorry. But I think because it's happening live, I like have not got on Twitter in like a year, and I was like, I guess I'm gonna go back on, because I was like, I like to be a part of the zeitgeist. You know what I mean? And like I like spent hours on TikTok like looking at just people's takes and stuff, and I was just like, okay, this feels like I'm a part of something.
Yeah.
This is fun.
Did you consume the Love Island subreddit by any chance?
No.
That's the main place that I read the conversation.
That is where a lot of the discourse, I feel like, spreads from, is that pocket of the internet. So I would encourage you to try that out next time too.
I don't know. Encourage, I would hesitate to. It can get a little unhinged on there.
Which is why you need to make that your homepage when next season starts.
Okay.
You can't avoid it.
Okay. I will say, like, we were talking about this before, it's also, like, one of those things, we were talking about, like, week-to-week shows versus, like, things that everyone's watching when it all comes out is, like, things that, like, things get spoiled for you.
Yeah.
And so, like, I was like, God, I have things to do, I have to live my life, but I'm gonna stay up and watch Love Island, because, like, otherwise, I can't go anywhere, I can't check my mail without, like, you know, getting a spoiler for it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And also, did you guys see, like, the bars that were, like, doing, like,
Yes.
Love Island like it was the Super Bowl?
Oh my god.
One
Loved
of
it.
our friend Lucretia was at one, and she was like in the post, and she was just in the background like, wow, like losing her mind. I was like, that would be actually very fun.
Yeah.
They should do that at Brick House.
Oh,
Can you imagine? I would be there. But I'm curious. Okay, I have 2 questions. Okay, the first one, just think about like who is your favorite character from the season? I'm just gonna call them characters. Second, what was your favorite song?
Oh god.
And third,
That's actually easy.
what was your favorite tattoo?
Also easy for me. Actually, Ty, do you want to go first?
No, I need to think on
they're
this.
all automatic answers for me. Huda was my favorite character. The favorite song was the weird ass Charlie and the Chocolate Factory song.
It was yes.
I have no idea why. Why did they even have the rights ready to go for that one?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Yeah.
Like, how did they?
I am so curious about their music budget. It's like wild.
Yeah. Well, I read a little bit, and they like pre-clear like just thousands and thousands of songs, like ready to just slot in. But favorite tattoo, loved Taylor's. Planet of the Apes.
Apes shall not kill
apes.
It's massive, and it's so. I was like, it had to use like all the ink in the shop to make that. That's crazy.
Just, like, how are you that big a fan of that?
It's
To put
over
it
his
on
whole
half of your
chest.
chest.
It's
They're like my
crazy.
mom with
Yeah.
her. That would be the tattoo.
Your
she'd
mom's
get.
like, seems normal to me.
My whole thing with that, like, there has to be something else. It can't just be he really likes Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Apes shall
Means
not kill
something
ape
to him.
has to be deeper than that.
I mean, I
I'm
guess
begging
it's
for it to be.
anti-violence in general, right? Like, that's the message of...
Sure, I guess, but like, that's the anti-violence message you
Yeah.
chose?
Yeah.
yeah.
There's a lot of other things in the world that we could have done there.
I'm just thinking like prospective lover, like you're in the throes of passion and you're having to look at this half of an ape's
Yeah.
face
Yeah.
in missionary, just like, I don't think I can continue doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need a blanket or just like a little. I need a washcloth to cover up your left pectoral, just for 30 seconds, please.
It was wild. Like, are the tattoos usually like that? I feel like they would be on UK maybe.
I mean, there are always bad tattoos for sure, but I feel like this season was kind of a standout on that front.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. So, who was your favorite person?
At the risk of being canceled for this,
Uh-oh.
before everything happened, I really liked Sierra.
I did too.
I really vibed with her a lot. She seemed so cool. I loved how like open she was. She never took any of the challenges seriously. Like, she just seemed so cool.
Yeah.
And I still maintain that she is cool with the caveat of just like, she had some stuff.
Yeah.
She's working through it,
I will say
she's human.
her apology video was like one of the best written I think
Yeah.
I've seen. It was long, but it was I was like,
But Alexa pointed out that the shirt she's wearing in the video, it says
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you have that ready to go?
Yeah.
Like, I just need to know. Did you order it for this? Did you know?
that's why it took so long for her to speak out. She was like, my Etsy order hasn't arrived.
So weird.
Yeah, I did like her too, but I will say I love Nick. I thought he was so fun. That's why I
Really?
spent hours looking at his sister's TikTok. I was like, I want to learn more about this person. I think he was very fun. I loved his mom though, was like on the video. She was like, how do you feel about Nick being on the season? She was like, oh, I feel fine about it, except I cannot believe he had national television with that mountain of a zit on his face. And I was like, not his mom. It was crazy.
That was a
because the other
crazy
people are
bit.
wearing pimple patches, and he was just like, nah, man.
Yeah.
It was right here on the front of his face.
Actually, I changed my answer. My favorite character is Olandria's mom. Actually,
yeah.
she fucking rules.
Yeah, she was like
man.
body tea, Alphys tea.
Yeah.
She was hyping her up. She was good.
Yeah.
I also love like Nick's eyebrows, like the expressions he would make. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
he was like funny.
You're a big eyebrow person too, Liz.
Yeah, I mean, like, Nick was definitely one of the most attractive to me.
You're a big
minus the
eyebrow
zit.
person.
Oh, I am.
Okay.
He's not wrong.
Ask her about Bill Hader.
Oh yes.
But yeah, no, I think that Zit aside, Nick was probably the most attractive of the
Yeah.
guys, in my opinion.
I think Jeremiah,
Or Jeremiah,
was.
yeah.
He
Jeremiah
was, but I
was
felt
very
like Nick was more like
the personality
approachable.
shown through,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. He seemed like just a genuinely nice person. And it's interesting, like, when Sierra got voted off, like, not voted off, kicked out.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Disappeared.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because they were really trying to make Nick Alandria happen, and you can tell that he's kind of still just like, I don't know. And people were like, I can't believe he didn't leave with her. But it's like, I think I said this in the group message, was like, he doesn't really know why she got kicked out. Like, he's only known her for a few weeks, so it could be like, all they said was like that she had violated like Love Island rules or something. So it's like, well, I don't know, is she?
But to be
It
fair,
could have been first degree murder.
historically that has been because several people have gotten removed for violating the rules, but it's been more minor. In fact, like one year someone brought a vape pen and got removed for that.
What?
So like I think that would probably then that was the most recent removal. I want to say.
Yeah.
So I feel like your mind would go to that before it
Yeah.
would go. But then I guess they did have Ulissa, and maybe it had like leaked by then that like
Yeah.
what she got removed for.
Jessica and I were talking. You saying that reminds me. Jessica and I were talking about this last night. Are the women allowed to bring vibrators into the villa? You think?
Oh,
Because
good question.
those shared beds being right next to each
Yeah.
other would get very noisy potentially at night.
It is crazy that they all sleep like they're at camp. I was like, again, a person.
That would be the ultimate no for me. Like,
Yeah.
like that is why I could not go on the show.
I literally was like, I couldn't be on the show. I'd be like, okay, well, good night. And then it's just me hooking myself up to my CPAP, and I'd be like, okay,
like,
we're
do you guys
cuddling.
mind listening to white noise?
Yeah.
Actually, a fun fact that I learned recently is that because they take 1 night a week off, 1 or 2 nights a week off of filming, like they have 1 or 2 days off, and they have them sleep like in different arrangement on those nights. Like girls sleep
Yeah.
together, guys sleep together.
Oh, really?
on those
I didn't know
nights.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not allowed to
Interesting.
sleep with their couple on the nights off.
It's interesting they don't really explain certain things that like I texted you guys, like, do they eat any other meals besides breakfast? And you guys had to explain to me, like, they eat dinner and lunch separately.
Yeah.
Like, the guys and the girls eat separately, but then, like, the guys make the girls breakfast every day. But they never show them eating anything else
Yeah.
until maybe, like, the later episodes. I was like, oh, you guys, like, need to, like, put some protein in your body or
Why
something.
breakfast specifically? Like, why is that?
That became a really big thing last season when it became almost I don't remember who started it last season, but like it became this thing of like you have to bring your girl avocado toast in the morning, and it's just kind of spiraled from there that like it was like the nice gesture that became the expected gesture, and then from just like day one this year it was like
Yeah.
we need a full breakfast spread
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
single morning.
Yeah.
Which honestly created like a lot of like it's kind of brilliant. Like one of the times Huda was like, "Oh, you only brought me 1 pancake, but you brought her 2."
Or the
Oh
pancake
my
was
God.
undercooked and I had to go get someone else to make me a pancake
Yes.
that was cooked through.
Yes, or like if they're
Make
like
your own
having
damn pancake.
tension in the relationship, or like if they've just been dumped and then like one of the other guys, they were very nice about it. Like another guy would
Right.
like make this girl who's like now single, like he'd be like, "Okay, I'm gonna make it for my girlfriend and also this dumped girl
Oh my
here
God.
as well." I was just like, interesting. Like I
Yeah.
just would love to see y'all eat
It's
something.
just become like part of the culture. Well, also they have a pantry full of snacks that they don't ever show them because it's very strictly locked and like monitored so that only one person can go in at a time because they had a previous incident of people like hooking up in the pantry because it was one of the places that didn't have cameras.
Oh, I was actually like, wow, that sounds really bad. But I'm like, okay, I guess that makes
Yeah, no,
sense.
but it's not locked to like restrict
Yeah.
their access to the food or anything. It just you can't go both.
Couldn't they just put a camera in the pantry?
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I want to see someone hook up in the pantry. It'd be
Right.
incredible.
Okay, also speaking of hooking up, you guys, so they have like this thing, it's called the Hideaway that like opens at a certain point. I guess it's like there are cameras in it, but not really. Like it's like where they can go have sex if they want to, but it doesn't open till a certain point. But you like people were already having sex in the
Yeah.
communal bedroom, like next to each other.
They gotta change that. I think they should
Yeah.
just have it open because
I love how Love Island UK just has it open. It's
Yeah.
like day
Yeah.
4, you're feeling frisky, go at it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really lost its purpose once everyone just started having sex
They can see it really
camera.
really set the bar.
around everyone else.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things, like whenever I see reality TV show edits, is like it's like, oh, people are like, you know, having sex, and you just see their feet like intertwined or whatever.
No, the most iconic moment of the season in this specific realm was the clip they got of Hannah like spitting on her hand before she reached out. Do you guys
Oh
remember
no,
that?
I didn't see that. That's
It was-
funny.
I mean, you had to be like tuned into that part, but it was like when they're doing their nightly like pan over everyone. And she's doing it.
I love the nightly pan over. I get so excited for that.
That's funny. Also, I think I mentioned this. One of the things I could not get over, like I loved Huda, but I was like, you just sometimes like I understand like a French kiss is hot,
God.
but the way
The tongue was so out.
it was so out. It was like a dog like licking one of those peanut butter pallets
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And like even like 2 of the guys were like made a comment jokingly about. They were like, yeah, it was a lot of tongue or whatever.
You
Because
put
she
your
literally
tongue
like
back in.
was like she'd go in for the kiss and immediately it'd just be like.
Ew.
Like, I'm just like, that's not hot. That's
Right.
like, it reminds me of that Sex in the City scene where I think it's Charlotte's on a date and the guy's just like licking the side of her face. I was just like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
It was
Yeah.
a lot.
Huda thinks a lot of her kiss game when it's clearly the worst.
It is the
Ville,
worst.
because there was even a challenge where
I
she
don't know,
kissed where
Taylor is a
Ta-
top
yeah, it's true.
contender.
Oh, really?
in a world where Taylor isn't in the villa, Hoda is by far the worst. Because like there was a challenge where Jeremiah she got kissed by her, and he was just like, "Fuck, did you bruise my lip? What happened there? Like you bit the shit out of me."
Yeah. Also, well, actually, maybe we don't want to talk about this, but I was curious because I know there were like a lot of stripper rumors about Huda.
There were a lot of stripper rumors.
Yes.
You know, I mean, I don't know her life, but
Yeah.
would I automatically disbelieve the rumors? No, I would not automatically disbelieve them.
She has either worked in the industry before or has spent a disproportionate amount of time looking at herself in the mirror, practicing on things that I could not physically do with my ass.
Yeah,
it was
I will
incredible.
say the ass game is wild.
Oh my gosh.
It was like her and Landry. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I understood why
Amazing.
Jeremiah folded. I understand why Chris folded.
Yeah.
I understand why Ace folded. I get it.
Yeah.
That was probably one of like the fun highlights of the season was the Megan Thee Stallion
Yeah.
challenge.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that was just like sort of everyone was kind of in a good mood and
That was
having
Austin's
fun
finest
and-
moment. Him trying to
Yeah,
get
they
a marriage
had to do a
twerk.
twerk challenge in front of Megan Thee Stallion, and
Oh
then
my God.
which I was so curious how the boys would do, and they did how you would think
Yeah.
they did, but they like made it
went for
fun.
it.
I feel like that's like,
But then, like,
it'd
the
be
girls-
a lot of pressure on the girls though.
The only time I've ever tried to twerk in my life, I threw my back out.
yeah.
Like, and my friend it was like in my dorm room, she was like trying to teach me, and I was just like, this isn't the life for me.
Yeah.
You know, like I was born with stiff hips.
Was anyone bad?
Any
mean,
of the
like-
girls?
Yeah.
Like Hannah and
Yeah.
if Iris was on at that point, I feel like
Yeah.
they did not. They weren't bad, but they're like,
Compared to
skinny
some of
white
the
women.
others, yeah.
The bar was set very high when Huda went first.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like, oh.
It was kind of wild. Also, like, they had to wear, like, Megan Thee Stallion's bathing suit line, and I'm here to say I was not about those bathing suits.
I don't actually remember. I think I liked them.
Yeah, I
Really?
liked them too. I
I
thought
was
they
like-
looked good.
I was like, these are okay, but they're not, like, anything I mean, I'm not out here
So
wearing
our
that kind of...
sponsorship just went out the door.
Oh, never mind.
Presumably they're
I love them.
Presumably they're built for people with Megan Thee Stallion's dimensions, of which there are very few.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say that.
I feel like until I saw her on the show, I was like, I did not realize she was tall.
Oh yeah, she's very tall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's tall and really, really hot.
Yeah. I bet she would be, like, crazy to see in person. Like,
Yeah.
you'd just be like, whoa.
She has the most random cameos, wasn't she? Because she was on like the Hulk show too, like
Oh,
the
really?
She-Hulk show or whatever. Like
Well,
whoever her rep is, like for getting her on these like shows. It's so funny.
She should be in the
And she
studio.
twerked on that, too.
She's just watching so much TV.
Yeah.
I
I know. Well, also, she has this commercial that was playing during Love Island for her, I think it's like a tequila or something, and it's a song that's like, this is for the girls who want to have fun. And I'm like, this sounds like a great song. And I can't find it anywhere. I think it's only for the commercial, and that really pisses me off.
No.
I was like, this sounds like a #1 hit.
Jumping back, no one else said their favorite song.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think all of us are like the
I mean,
Willy
I took the
Wonka.
good one.
Yeah.
Just to be different, I'll say Moon River.
Yeah. I literally like pulled up my phone to be like, LOL at that Willy Wonka. Like I rewinded it and played
What
it
was
for
the
Chris.
context of the?
It was like
No, it was kind of problematic because it was like when Nick and Landria first got together, and I felt like there were like weird implications of like he's with a chocolate woman now. Like,
Oh, what?
happened?
It's
Which
like
song was
it's
it?
the one where they're like going through the tunnel, right? In Willy
It's
Wonka.
like pure
Victory.
imagination.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yes, but it's like
The
a weird
scary
like
tunnel?
yes, it's like a weird EDM version.
Yeah.
Kind of. It was
Yeah.
so
Pure
strange.
imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sultry.
Yeah.
My favorite was
interesting.
whatever song it was. I don't even remember who was talking, but they were just like really like your eyes, and then the song was literally like I see heaven in your eyes, like
Yeah.
literally a
The
beat
songs
pass.
are
It was
so
crazy.
on the nose.
I was like, okay, I see what people are talking about.
And it's weird because they have this mix of like horrible, just incredibly low budget sounding like awful covers, but then they'll have like they had like Juno, like the
Yeah.
like I'm like what like
Yeah.
I can't
They
understand
had,
how the budget is being
The
distributed.
Lady Gaga song,
Yeah.
Abracadabra.
Yeah.
I can never do it.
Abracadabra.
Yes. Chris listened to me try to do that for a half hour one day. Like, I was just upstairs trying
I'll
to be like,
teach you.
abracadabra. I couldn't get it.
I'll teach you.
Thank
It
you.
took me a minute to learn it.
Yeah. But, anyways, I think, like, I really did enjoy it. Did you guys watch The After Suns?
Yes.
Interesting.
I
I
can't.
watched one of them and I was just kind of like, eh.
It's bad.
I can't be arsed with After Sun.
Yeah.
I miss unseen bits. Bring back unseen bits.
I don't
Interesting.
know. I
What is
actually
that?
never really liked Unseen Bits.
Unseen Bits was like an hour-long clip show that they would do on one of the off nights where this used to be more of a thing when it was airing on like NBC or like cable TV. It was like, here's an unedited version of like stuff that we couldn't show during the main show, and it was, it was them like hooking up or making like raunchy jokes or something. Maybe it loses a little bit of its punch with it on Peacock when everything's uncensored anyway, but extra time like seeing them in the villa, stuff that didn't make it, that left on the cutting room floor, like I just love like an outtake basically.
What really like killed Unseen Bits for me is I feel like that one, probably the last season they did it, so much of it felt like it was devoted to I want to say it was like Deb, and she thought she was like really funny with her thing about like birds aren't real, they're all robots, and I was like, okay, I don't need to see clip after clip of Deb talking about how birds are robots.
Love Island legend Deb Chubb.
Interesting. Okay, so we haven't gotten to the winner. We haven't talked
yes.
about Amaya Papaya at all, really.
Yeah.
How did you guys feel about her?
Love.
I loved her.
Love.
So boring to me.
Why?
I was not a fan.
The show really took a nosedive for me personally when it switched up after the game where they revealed America's votes on all the Islanders, because once it became clear that she was the favorite, everything about the show switched up to cater to her and to like set her up for victory or like a successful run-in, and it was just so boring. Like I know like especially people really liked her personality. She was quirky, she was silly, she would mispronounce things a lot. Like she was bubbly, she was ditzy, like she was all these fun things, and like that's great. It didn't do it for me at all. I found her boring. Her and Brian's connection I thought was kind of boring. Like
I'd agree with that.
She was there for me, and like I just meh.
My favorite is when she says something about, she's like, I would never go die skiving.
Yeah.
That is my favorite, like, mispronunciation. But I think I loved, like, before the vote, there's the whole stand on business challenge where, like, all the guys are ganging up on Amaya being like, why are you saying babe so early or whatever?
Yeah.
And that's when Brian, like, stands up and he's like, that's just what you kind of do in, like, a Latina household. Like, you just call people babe, like, whatever. And so it made me feel like that connection was genuine because it was before, like, everyone knew, like, we love Amaya.
Sure.
I also just think, like, I didn't like her at first because she had just such a JoJo Siwa voice. I really couldn't handle it. And, like, the more she screamed, the, like, less voice she had. I was like, oh, girl. But I liked her out of everyone who I, like, was on the show. I was like, I think she probably deserves to win. Like, she's the most, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, everyone else, I was just like, whatever.
Of the people that were left, like they definitely had to win.
Yeah.
From a coupling standpoint, like had anyone else won outside of maybe Iris and Pepe, but even then we didn't get shown anything about their relationship. We don't know how strong their relationship was.
Well, I guess that's my question for the Amaya's boring criticism is like, is she more boring than Iris and Pepe?
Well, clearly not, because production saw a bunch of Iris and Pepe and decided, this ain't it, Chief.
Yeah.
But like I don't.
just couldn't tell you one thing about Iris or Pepe as people or their personalities. Like
So the one thing, I agree. Like didn't get a whole lot of depth there. But what I think I liked about them both is that like they both handled really shitty situations for them personally with a lot of grace. Like especially Iris getting thrown in to the middle of peak Hurricane Huda, getting paired up with Jeremiah when they didn't really have a connection, and just like withstanding all of that and being just like super chill, never crashing out, never even like raising her voice or getting mad or upset. She's just like, this is crazy. I'll believe this.
She's just like, what's going on?
Like she just seems very chill and cool, and like I respect her for that in this environment, like being able to just be that level-headed throughout. I was just like, I can justify rewarding her with prize money for literally just being incredibly normal during this environment.
Yeah. Well, because in the finalists, this is the first time you guys said that we've had a couple that was broken up during finals. So they have to like read love letters to each other, and Chris and Huda had to do it after they had broken up, and I thought they handled it very well, but it was just like, if they had won, that would have been wild.
Yeah.
I swear to God, Chris would have taken the money.
Oh,
He would have taken the money. There's not doubt.
He hated her. I think he liked her for like a day, and then it was like, I hate you.
He
like,
would have rather than playing ball overseas.
Yeah. It's interesting to see the way it played out. I'm glad how it ended. I saw that today Amaya's going to be on Call Her Daddy, is like the special guest. It's crazy because it's like Alex Cooper's like, I think just in her regular like sweatpants, and then Amaya's just in her full like Love Island bikini. Just like, I was like, why is she doing that? Or at least in the little like clip I saw when she was like walking into the studio. Maybe she'll change.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure
I was like, I would be freezing. I cannot imagine. But then again, that's why I'm not on Love Island.
Ty, who's your favorite Islander ever? Like of all seasons?
Oh, wow. My favorite Islander ever? Oh, my God. I really, really loved Kira and Will on their season. I was so disappointed.
Talk about boring.
I was so disappointed that season that they didn't win. They were the only genuine...
They are still together, aren't they?
No, they broke up.
They broke up?
They broke up after the show, got back together, stayed together for quite like a couple of years, like traveling the world together, and then broke up finally. But like, no, I'm mad at them because they lost to a bullshit friendship couple, and I will never ever respect a friendship couple winning. Like, they had a genuine connection, and it was horseshit.
They should have won. You're right about that. But they just also like. What is their legacy on the show? You know, they didn't do anything for Love Island as a whole. The culture, the memes,
no, they weren't like mega entertaining. They were just a good, strong couple.
You're romantic. You're really in this for just like you want the normal people to excel in it couldn't be me.
I in a sea of chaos, I respect the commitment to normalcy. It shows a certain level of character and integrity that I think quickly goes out the window. Now, if you want to ask me, like most hated characters, Mackenzie immediately goes up there for what she did to poor Connor and Gus. Fuck her for that. That was diabolical. So Mackenzie was a character from season 3.
I want to say,
who had a teddy
maybe
bear.
2.
Maybe. Was that the same season? She had a teddy bear named Gus that she constantly snuggled with. And when the guys went to Casa, she was coupled up with this guy named Connor. She gave Gus to Connor to take with him to remember her by in Casa. He comes back down because what they used to do in Casa was they used to bring the guys back walking down a staircase, and it would be like this big reveal of like, are they with someone? Are they not? And then they would see their couple, and it'd be like, are they with someone? Are they not? It was very dramatic. It was very cool. And poor Connor walks down the stairs holding Gus, very excited to see his couple. And Mackenzie had recoupled during Casa, and it was devastating. Fuck you, Mackenzie. Fuck you. I'll never recover from that.
I thought you were going to say he lost the bear and left it, and that is actually more devastating.
Molly, as someone who has a bear named Horatio, like, that would be...
Because I was thinking, like, imagine me giving Horatio to somebody.
You would
and
never.
I would never do that.
You probably wouldn't even give it to Matthew.
That's crazy of her.
You'd be like, this is mine. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Liz, who's your favorite couple? Couple, yeah.
Favorite Islander of all time's probably got to be Leah from last season.
Okay, so I actually have to say she's why I started watching season 2. I just kept seeing her in the commercials, and I don't know why. I was just like, I really like this girl. I don't know anything about her.
Leah is hysterical.
Leah's fun.
She's like the right amount of like, she's like if Huda were like, she's got like a little bit of Huda's craziness, but she's more funny and like slightly less insane.
Okay,
and more like put together, I would say too. Like she and Huda clearly come from different backgrounds.
Well, yeah.
And like, and I'm glad you mentioned that. You actually saying Leah made me forget. I fucking love Rob. Rob is top tier. Rob would actually probably be my all-time favorite. Rob, no one last season could ever make me hate Rob. He was so funny.
No, I agree.
Interesting. Okay, also I was thinking if I had to do Love Island but concept it differently, because I was like, okay, it's a bunch of hot people. I want to see a reality show with like regular people. Yes. And I'm picturing you combine Love Island and The Office, you know? And it's just like people working at an office, but like they fall, like, you know, the relationships that happen, because I bet it would honestly be like a little bit crazier. You know, you're just like, you're trying to get your projects done, and you're also like, but I think I'm going to start a relationship with my boss. You know, like, I think that would be so entertaining. Secondly, you know how like during the Super Bowl, Animal Planet does Puppy Bowl?
Yeah.
I'm picturing, now stick with me. This isn't going to like a bestiality area. Okay, just to be clear. I'm picturing where it's like adoptable animals, and it's like Love Island, and you have to like, you know, like find a connection with an adoptable animal. Like this is exclusively for Animal Planet.
Okay,
You know what I
was like,
mean?
that's
Pup
cute, but that
Island?
sounds like so boring.
Not for me.
But
No,
like,
I
it's
would
very
be.
cute, but it's like, what would be the drama, you know?
I feel like it would be very dramatic. Have you ever met a Chihuahua?
I feel like the drama would come from the fans. Like everyone would say like anything, like if you do the slightest thing wrong, like you're an animal abuser.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
right.
true.
People get worked up about animal welfare.
Yeah, that is true.
I would, in recency bias perhaps, I would love a blending of Squid Game and Love Island, where if you are dumped from the villa, you
Yeah.
are
Die.
just eliminated.
Yeah.
That really ratchets the stakes up just a little bit.
Yes. I think that would be really interesting. And maybe that's kind of like, this is the 7th season, so maybe that's why they did some of these different things to just like try some different stuff out. But I do think like adding murder to it would really draw in on it.
Well, okay, so this actually raises my question for Molly, which was, what would have to change in your life or in the show to make you watch this?
That's
I mean,
a big
nothing
question.
about the show specifically. I've never been like a reality competition show person, like just ever. Like it's nothing about Love Island itself. I just
Right.
have never really been I'm
Not
just
your
not a
bag.
reality show person.
Yeah.
I've had like literally there's like probably 3 reality shows I've watched my entire life.
What are they, out of curiosity?
A Dance Moms. I'm a huge Dance Moms fan.
Okay.
I grew up watching I grew up watching Girls Next Door and like Keeping Up with the Kardashians,
Yeah.
which I don't know what that says about me. That as a child I was watching Girls Next Door. That's like the Hugh Hefner like
I do love that.
House,
so
show.
good.
House Bunny
It's
show.
so good.
And then Jersey Shore I was obsessed with.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch like any like Real World or Road Rules
No.
stuff? See that? I think that
I
set
love
the
the Real
stage
World.
growing up. Loved
I
it.
never watched that.
Whenever
Never watched
someone
that.
mentions
Wow.
Cancun, I always think of the Real World intro where they're like, the real world, and then the girl goes, Cancun. And like, that's just like a
Yeah,
little
it's in your
soundbite that
brain.
will be in my head forever. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't like the once a day or
The time
It is a lot.
I couldn't
It's
do
a
that.
lot.
That's originally kind of my huge hesitation. I was like, I got other viewing, like I was kind of getting stressed about like when we all went on a trip together a few weeks ago and Ty was like in the movie room watching Love Island and I was like, wow, he's really intense. And then I realized I was like, oh, I'm 5 hours behind.
You have to be.
I'm like, this is half of a work day if I like have to sit here and do it. And luckily it was like the, heat wave that's destroying the earth happened. And so then I was like, I can't go anywhere and do anything. So I guess I'll catch up. And it was great.
Molly, let me pose you a direct and pointed question. Come this time next year, if you're added to a group chat,
That will make me not.
Yeah.
really?
Absolutely
This is
not.
Ty's tried and failed multiple times method of trying
It's
to
gonna
get
work
added.
eventually.
know.
Eventually, one of you is gonna be susceptible to peer pressure.
Alexa joined it, didn't she?
What? Sorry.
The
You
group
know,
chat?
I mean,
Oh.
Yeah.
she's the one success story for
Okay.
Ty's
Yeah,
method.
Chris
Okay.
literally he was in it for like a week. I don't know why he stayed in that long. And then it was just like, Chris Williams has left the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
feel like
Can't
if
do it. Let me know if you want to join like a Dance Moms group chat though. Like I'm happy to talk about that.
So my proposal for the reality show that we all need to get into is The Traitors.
I've heard
Oh,
good things
yeah.
about, but that's another one where I'm just like I don't think I love Alan Cumming. Like I think the show is interesting, the concept I guess, but I couldn't watch. I don't watch that kind of show. I don't know.
You might, I don't know, maybe when it comes back, because it does, and it pulls from, there'll be some Love Island stars in the next
Right.
season. There'll be, so if you have any other reality shows that you like it pulls from those universes.
So I guess you watch like Real Housewives and all that.
I
What's
sure
like
do.
what are your favorite like of all time? Just how there's just certain TV gold like reality show moments. Like
Yeah.
what in your head, like maybe it's a loaded question, but like what is like your favorite just like
a
reality
singular moment?
Yeah, like reality TV gold like moment.
It's got to be, I'm going to say, it's hard to pick from among the first 3 seasons of Vanderpump Rules, but I've had it narrowed down to one, probably with the reveal that Jax and Kristen slept together
Oh.
on season 2 of Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules just, we'll never reach those highs again.
Like I ask that. I love to ask people that because I do always watch like viral like I'll watch like scenes from shows that I don't watch, but I just like Real Housewives. I love like the Amsterdam scene.
Yeah.
I watch that all the time, so I'm always just curious.
Molly, you'll be pleased to know, I think, that my favorite reality show moment of all time I was introduced to on a previous version of the show.
Oh, I know what you're
was
going to
that?
say.
Montoya, por favor.
Oh my god, I think that's another one too.
Porque!
I've like watched it since then.
I introduced all my coworkers
But
to
that's
that
why I
shit.
was asking because
Awesome.
there's certain like moments where it's like that is like gold.
It's iconic.
Like the fact that lightning was striking in the
Yes.
background while
Yeah.
he's running across the sand. Like, oh,
The
my
smash
God.
cut to the most blatant fucking on reality TV
Yes.
I've ever seen in my life is so incredible.
Did you guys ever watch Jersey Shore?
I mean, like, you know, it started when I was like a freshman in college, so I like went to some
yeah.
like parties, you know,
Okay.
that were like had it on, but I didn't.
Got
really
it.
watch
There's
it.
one.
Yeah.
There's a scene from that I just always think of. I'm like, that's just like gold, like reality
Yeah.
show gold.
I remember this guy in high school broke up with me because I was like, I don't really watch Jersey Shore.
He broke up with you?
Yeah, it was like right after he was like, do you want to watch Jersey Shore on Valentine's Day? And I was like, no, not really. And then
That was it?
That was it.
Game
What?
over.
You know,
That was
like
how you
14 or
bonded, like my
15.
freshman year of high school. Like that's how like we like bonded with people. Was
Yeah.
like through Jersey Shore. It
I
was
will
such
say,
a
like,
phenomenon.
Nothing peak MTV reality TV
Yeah.
is phenomenal. I tried watching The Traitors. The thing is, I do think you have to be like into reality TV to like be invested. But
That one's a little bit more
I'm not sure I agree with
highbrow
that.
though.
Yeah.
I feel like
I love the setting. I actually watched 2 episodes and then I had a whole dream that was like set.
You're like, I'm
Alan
really
Cumming
proud.
was there. I was like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is crazy.
that's what would make me watch it is Alan Cumming. But other than that,
so
Have you guys seen a show called The Mole? And I'm putting this
I
out
have
there.
not, but I've heard of it.
It is okay, so it's a reboot of like an early 2000s show where basically it's this group of people and they have to like complete these challenges, but one of the people is the quote unquote mole. So they're like trying to, you know, have them like they're trying to sabotage, thank you, the games without getting caught because certain people get voted off by the other people if they think that you're the mole. And every single season, it's crazy. Like the mole, I mean, there's only been 2 seasons, but the mole makes it to the end, and every time you're shocked about who it is. It is so entertaining.
You as the viewer don't know.
No, you don't know who the
Okay.
mole is. You're also trying to be like, wow, like, because the challenges are hard. So you're like, maybe they just are like an
Right.
idiot, but also maybe they're the mole.
I mean, that's like very similar to the Traitors, except for the viewers know who the Traitors are.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So maybe that's why they haven't like fully booked season 3, but I'm here. Chris and I watched it. Friend of the pod, Tanya, was like, have you guys seen The Mole? And we were like, absolutely, yes. We love it. It's phenomenal.
never heard of it.
Are any of you challenge people?
no, but I've seen
MTV's
a lot
The Challenge.
of challenge people
No.
on Traitors.
The challenge is really interesting because it has a little bit of like that dating show, but it's a lot of just like physical and mental challenges and like an elimination aspect for like a big grand prize that leads up to this finale that's this giant spanning like grueling physical and mental anguish event. Like it's
Love it.
like it's, and they do elimination in like this literal pit. It's like gladiator style.
Oh
It's
my
very
gosh.
it's very interesting.
Huh. Did any of you guys watch Squid Games, The Challenge?
Yes.
Was it good?
I love Squid Games in general, and I thought the real adaptation of it was as interesting as it could have been without the murder.
Okay, interesting. Because I just, people say really good things about it, but I'm like, do I want to support this? But then I'm like, what else am I doing
Well,
with
they're
my
not
life?
really
Yeah.
murdering anyone, right?
No.
No, yeah.
Not that we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen any of them since then. But
Yeah.
Do you watch Love Island games?
Yes, and I will be here
Okay,
for...
so
I've
what
never
is
watched that one.
So Love Island Games is interesting because like they take the Love Island formula of like you guys are here to like find love but also win money. The key difference is that the challenges that they do in Love Island don't actually matter. There's no stakes. In Love Island Games, they do matter because you get some sort of like bonus or immunity or like perk or something. So it gives meaning to them. And the games are how they do eliminations partially as well. So like there is a gamified aspect to it. So it's like all right, like, you have a really strong couple. Well, you didn't do well in this challenge, so now you have to go head to head with this person to see which one of you is getting dumped from the villa. And so it's these very kind of interesting, like, parallel storylines that are happening because it's all people from, like, the Love Island universe, but they take them from different shows. So, like, they have Love Island USA people, Love Island UK people, Love Island Australia people, Love Island Switzerland people. Like, they bring them from around the Love Island collective mythos, if you will, and bring them together, and it's fun. I enjoyed season 1. I'm going to be here in September for season 2. I encourage all of you to join me. We can get some fantasy Love Island action going on if that is more enticing.
Is it on as often?
Yeah.
See, I can only do this once a year. I think that's my thing.
Also, I will say this season there were 2 British people on here, and I was like, get out.
Right.
Yeah,
That's how I
go to
felt
your
like
own show.
When I was watching British Bake Off this past season, there was an American guy who ended up honestly, like, just, it was embarrassing for America because he just was like, I don't know if I can do this, and left after, like, 2, I was like, you're only on Cookie Week or whatever it was. It was like, bro, get it together. But I was like, well, you guys have your own Love Island. Like, but I also was like, I do love a Brit. So.
Well, there's a U.S. person on this season of Love Island UK too. She's from Las Vegas, and it's very jarring to hear the one American accent in a sea of UK accent.
Well, apparently they hate it, like the British viewers.
I'm sure.
Hate that we've infiltrated.
Yeah.
That's like this show that we're watching where it's like an American in London, and she was like, you know how like we think like British accents are really cute and like fun, like do you guys think that about us? And the guy's like, no. Like, which just makes sense. Like, I hear us talk and I'm just like, yeah, it's not as great.
No.
It's not as enticing to me.
Listen, the Brits may have the accent, but let me tell you, the looks on Love Island UK are a massive step down.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I started watching Love Island UK in 2020 because, again, like you all, pandemic, I was like, whatever.
Right.
I could not get past the first episode because I was like, what is going on? Like, and I don't mean this in a mean way, but I was just like, I just can't, like, the plastic surgery and, like, I don't know. I was just like...
It's the makeup, too. They do
Yeah.
their makeup in it. And I don't want to isolate our British viewers.
No, if you listen to
Listeners.
this podcast, you know that I love I am half British myself in my soul.
But I will say, like, if you see, like, a video of people and you're, like, if you look at their makeup, you can be like, oh, they're probably British.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, like, a certain look.
Let me say this. Let me put it this way. Vanna from this season of Love Island USA would go into Love Island UK and be the hottest person on that show by a healthy margin.
What is it gonna look like?
Well, I saw a lot of people say when she was like when they just released the pictures of who was coming in, and like it was before she was on the show and we'd seen her. I saw a lot of people say they assumed she was British.
Yep.
Yeah, I can
kinda has
actually
that
see
look.
that. Yeah, she does give big British energy.
I had the same problem as you when I tried to watch
fine.
Love Island UK for one season. My like takeaway was like what is going on? But for me, it was because I literally could not understand their accents.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan. Like I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I think like British accents are so cute. I'm just like, no, I can't understand what you're saying. Goodbye.
Yeah.
This girl's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
I
the
actually
oldest I've
think
seen
she's,
so
like,
far is
hot,
like
but I also am shocked she's only 21.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
But in the promo photo, she looks pretty.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to I feel bad that really don't.
I would say if you want a good mix of like hotness and accents, Love Island Australia
Okay.
is peak.
No.
Interesting.
They're
Australia has
they're-
some hotties.
They're all
Oh yeah,
so hot.
I'm not talking about their physical hotness. I can't stand Australian accents.
Oh really?
Yeah, I think they're
Interesting.
so.
Oh man.
It's one of those like it's like an uncanny valley thing. It's like they're speaking English, but it's not right, and it's agitating my brain.
Is
Yeah.
it weird that the Australian accent is like one of the hottest accents to me?
It's weird to me personally.
It's
I
not
used to
one of
think
my
it was
favorites.
hot, and then like I started watching a lot of Australian television, and I was kind of like,
If it's like Heath Ledger, I think it's hot.
But that's also the thing is like, like British actors versus British people and the way they talk. It's like a different. It's different.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Americans. Same thing with like Australians.
No one thinks the Scouser accent is hot. Like
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
the official Love Island USA app has a quiz. If we would like to go through this, let me pull that up
okay.
real quick.
Yes, because you know we love a little trivia quiz here on a Diet Pop.
Okay, there are 8 questions here.
Okay.
Question 1: How did Amaya and Brian sum up their relationship on After Sun? Crazy or magical? as the only one who watches after season. Liz, this is on you.
Can't say that stood out to me. I'm gonna say magical.
Yeah, I feel like I can hear
Right,
Amaya being like, magical. Yeah. I'm a princess.
Yeah.
All right. The answer is magical.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a good one. Who was the first Islander to say, I got a text?
Oh,
was
gosh.
it Ace, Austin, Jeremiah, Nick, or Taylor?
Nick. I don't know.
I'm gonna say Taylor.
Molly, you're the tie break vote.
Say them again. I'm so sorry.
Nick or Taylor?
Taylor.
The correct answer is Taylor.
Wow. Okay. Good job.
When was Alandria and Nick's first kiss? Episode 1 or episode 2?
Episode 1, because they talked
I
about
thought it was 2.
Oh, sorry. Wait. Maybe, yeah.
I thought the blindfold challenge was their first kiss.
Molly, tiebreaker.
Okay, so
One or 2?
2.
The answer is episode 1.
Yeah.
What were the names of Iris and Pepe's twins? Lois and Peter or Ross and Rachel?
It was
Lois and Peter, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They're fake babies.
They're fake babies. Yeah.
Okay.
The answer is Lois and Peter.
Nice.
Question 5. Who won the kissing challenge this year? The Villa or Casa Amor?
It was Casa.
Yeah, I don't remember, so I'll go
Because
Casa.
I will say Sierra was hot during that challenge.
Yeah, she was. The answer is Casa.
Yeah.
Question 6. What are Hudda and Chris's zodiac signs? What maniac knows this? Virgo and Aries or Scorpio and Gemini?
I think Scorpio and Gemini.
If I had to guess just
Based on
based
their
on
personalities.
the stereotypes, I would say that.
The answer is Virgo and Aries.
Really?
So
Which
is
one's
Hudda
the
a
Virgo?
It's got to be Jeremiah.
Also, did you guys see that Jeremiah just does he runs a book club now? He was in the New York
yeah,
Times
I
about it.
did.
Yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. He a Song of Achilles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that for him.
Yeah.
Who burned the garlic bread at the family dinner? Brian, Chris, or Nick?
I think it's Brian.
I'll just go with Brian.
The answer is Chris.
Oh.
I was thinking that was maybe an additional point of tension between Hudda
Yeah.
and Chris.
And the final question, what is not an Amaya-ism?
Okay. Oh.
Gratituli, opportunally, or fortunability?
I think
Fortunability.
I can't even
whatever.
say
It's
that.
yeah.
The answer is fortunability.
Yeah. I love her little isms.
I know.
You
They're
got
good.
5 out of 8. Good
Wow.
job, everybody.
That was a hard quiz. That was good. I'm
There
glad.
we go.
But anyways,
Have we subjected to Molly
Okay.
enough of this?
I have one final question. What are you guys gonna do with your time now that the villa is over?
Ooh. Go to bed much earlier.
Okay.
Is my main thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get even better at Mario Kart.
Okay. I love that. I'm gonna catch up on the shows that I've not been watching for this podcast, and I'm very excited. But thank you guys for coming,
This
chatting.
is so fun to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
We love being the Love Island correspondents.
I mean, you guys, you really pulled me in. You should. That's a tough.
You should keep going with season 6. I gotta hear more. of
Yeah.
it.
you should
I will.
watch that.
I will. I'm curious. But as always, thank you all for listening. Please follow us on Instagram at Poppin In Podcast. Also, like, rate, review, and subscribe. Share with your friends. And most importantly, Love Island is about love, and that's what we have here. Bye.
Bye.